Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Just over here, podcast today. There's a thing going on that I was mentioning about one of my podcasts. I believe it was the first one. So today's the 20th, and Hazelbrook is doing a Christmas party, helping out everybody. Hi, helping out everybody with some food, getting tickets for food, getting just some food to eat, hanging out, mingling around, giving out gifts for kids and stuff. So as I come in, I'm gonna walk around, take a tour, you can see everything going on. So as you can see, we got the Grinch here. So we got the Grinch. He's a little busy right now. There we go. Hi, you turned around. No, it's a little blurry right now. So we got that. Like I said, it's kids around. I'm doing all that. Got some jams. Here's another man going on here. Hey. Go ahead, eat all you want on camera, bro. It's all going on TV later. So got all of that going on. Let's see here. Make some room. Let everybody walk through. First room we're gonna go to is actually kind of cool. It's a kids' activity. They get to go do that, and then they get to. What they're doing is they're actually gonna be doing baking cookies, decorating them. So you got all that going on over there. See if I can get that in focus. See, is that going? There we go. So they're all making cookies there, decorating. So they're having a blast doing that. Now I gotta see if I can find Santa and Mrs. Claus. See, where did they go? Oh, excuse me, coming through here. Oh, excuse me. All right. All right. Here's my buddy John. Try to get him on later. Talk. It's all about timing right now. So, all right. Well, it looks like Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus disappeared. Have to go around and maybe they're outside looking for the reindeer. That's what it could be. Is the Santa Claus outside?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Huh.
I'm not sure.
All right. He's probably taking a break feeding his reindeers right now, but we'll get a video of him pretty soon when we get back. So what I'm gonna do right now that I walked around, excuse me, now that we walked around, took a look around here at some of the things they're doing, I'm gonna come over here. Excuse me, fellas. All right, so now we got some quiet here. Gonna come here, and right now we're just gonna do prayers. So sit with me for a minute here, and let's get through this. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for another blessed day, bringing everybody here and helping the kids out, helping the families out, getting people fed. Bless us all for all the accomplishments we are doing, helping the sober community, helping everybody that needs to be fed. um, so let's bless this day and let's pray for another day and let's pray for more accomplishments. Amen. All right, so I'll be back in a little bit with some more stuff. Hey, oh wait, hold on. There we go. Yeah. Alright. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Lupe over here doing the podcast radio again. Bringing somebody to come and talk about their experience. Uh, I've known this guy for a long time. I just ran into him. Well, we were actually growing up together as kids. So we're still at the Hazelbrook facility doing the Christmas party thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my friend Tommy talk, and you know, uh, go ahead and listen to his story. He's got a wild one here.
Yep. All right. So my name's Tommy. Uh, I got locked up when I was about 18. I ended up with a 25-year piece. I did 21 of the 25. I got out 2021 and ended up completing parole, discharged back in December of last year. But during that time, since I've been out the last 5 years, I got to experience things I didn't wish I didn't have to experience. You know, I got to experience what it's like to be an addict. You know, and it's no fun. I can tell you that much. I've lost everybody I love. You know, everybody holds dear to me, and I have nobody up until this point. I've had nobody in my life from 25, 26 years ago until now, and it's the first time me doing something like this. So, but back in what was it? Back in beginning of September, I was with another Silver Living for about 8 months. I got kicked out on something stupid on my own behalf, and you know I ended up almost ODing on methamphetamine. And when people say you can't OD, you can OD on anything. And I ended up slamming. And if it wasn't for me saving my own life, I would have had a heart attack and died. And I thought that was a breaking point where it was going to change everything, and it didn't. And up until about a month ago, I finally reached the point where I was going to lose everything, including myself, and I didn't want to do that. And I had to get myself right, you know. Granted, it's not an easy road to go down, so to all the addicts that are out there, you know, my heart does go out to you, and I want you to know that it is possible, that you're not alone. You know, that was one of my problems. When I used, I was alone, and that's been one of my triggers too, was being alone. And I always thought nobody cared about me, and I ended up finding out with Hazelbrook that you know they do care about you. They care a great deal, and you know if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be standing here right now. I would have been dead because I would have lost everyone, including myself, and I didn't want that. You know, I'm not going to say too much about what went on while I was locked up for 21 years because that's something that I have to move past, and that's my past. But since I've been out, you know, I created my own family. You know, because I didn't have my parents and my brothers. They're all, both my parents passed away since I've been out, and both of my brothers are doing their own thing, living their own life. But what I did have is my sister, who is the mother of my niece, and my niece is my world. And if it wasn't for them still standing by my side and supporting me, you know, I would have continued to get high. Uh, like I said, it's the first time you're doing this, so if you want to ask me some questions, you're more likely more welcome to.
Yeah. So when was the point you said that you needed to quit?
Uh, it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. I had gotten in a fight with my girl, and we broke up. And I remember I lost my phone at that time too. And I was downtown, sleeping over a place called the Circle of Trees, and I had a blanket covered over me, and I had my baggie clear, and I was going to put it in the pipe, and I heard my mom's voice saying, "This is what's causing you to lose everything and everybody, including yourself." And for the first time in my entire life, I closed that baggie. I ripped off the blanket and I chucked it back, and I didn't even bother to get up and go look for it. You know, I spent 2 more days, you know, by myself, and there's this lady that I ran into named Jamie. She works with, she's got Resurrection Recovery.
Okay.
And she's like, call me. I told her I would, and I called her, and they got me into Hazelbrook, and I just, I won't say I don't like getting high because I did, I loved it, but what I didn't like was the way I treated people. You I treated them like shit. I talked to them wrong,
Yeah.
and I'm hurting the people that I love the most.
Yeah, it messes with your mind. You're not the same person as you
No.
would be sober.
Yeah. And like now that I'm sober, granted it's only been about a month. A couple weeks have gone by where unfortunately, I did hit a THC vape, but I owned it. And I'm the type of person, if you remember back in the day, I was big time weed smoker.
Yeah.
And when I got out, my parole officer told me I could smoke weed, and I loved it, because it did help me. But this time, I'm challenging myself to say I don't need that because, yeah, granted, it may help, but I need to be completely sober, and I need to prove it to myself that I can do this.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then what year was it that you got out of prison?
January 6th of 2021.
2021.
Yeah,
I remember you were gone for a long time, man.
far too long, bro.
Yeah.
I ended up. I will talk a little bit about that. My wife, she passed away while I was locked up. She was my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
And normally when you have people, when you get locked up for a really long time, you tend to lose them. They fall off. But she rode with me all the way to 11 years before she passed away. And, I still haven't been able to grieve over it because she doesn't want me to.
Yeah.
I've dealt with death so many times where I know how to do it. And I don't remember the loss of them. I remember all the good times, because that's what they want. They don't want us to remember how they died. They want us to remember the life that they lived, the fun that they had, the goodness of it. And that's why I try to help others when they deal with a death to don't remember the bad and losing of it. We're gonna always remember that. But I know that they don't want us to remember that. They want us to celebrate your life, to remember the good times that they had, how much they affected your life in a good way. And I do that every day. I got out of prison. Like I said, January 13th or December 13th of last year, I just started off parole.
Nice.
And I got out and I didn't get no trouble with the law. Granted, I lost a lot of stuff because I had to walk away from it because I knew what the outcome was going to be. And I won't go back to prison. That's not something I want because I know if I go back for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And doing that, my dad passed away 8 months after I got out, and then my mom passed away in September of last year.
I'm sorry to hear about that, man.
Yeah. Losing my dad was, me and my dad, we always had our differences.
Yeah.
But, if you knew, I was a mama's boy. I love my mom and dad. And my little brother is one, a year prior to that, he caused her to have a stroke. I wanted to bring her back to Colorado where she would have had at least 5 years or more on her life, and she would have got to spend it with me because I haven't seen my parents or my brothers since July 14th of 2000. And as much as I wanted, when I got out, they wanted me to go down to Arizona or Mexico to be with them, but I told them, I can't do it, I'm on parole. And but my little brother, I used to have a lot of animosity towards him, and I was with Ann and Nail Silver Living. They really didn't care about you; they only cared about money.
Yeah.
But I took it upon myself to care about myself. I needed that in my life because if I don't care about me, then nobody else will. And if nobody else doesn't care, as long as I care about myself, as long as I love myself, that's all I need in life. A lot of people, they don't love themselves. They don't care about themselves. Yeah. And that's why they end up dying. And I'm the type of person where I'll never give up on anybody. Even if they give up on themselves, I want to show them, you have somebody that's not going to give up on you. Cool. And I've actually changed a few people's lives. Since getting in with Hazelbrook, I've had 2 individuals that I care about. One whom I did time with, one of my best friends in there. She's trans, and I told her that I'm in sober living, and instead of her saying, "Oh, well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck," she asked me, "Well, how can I go about getting into it?"
Yeah.
And then my girl that I have now, she has a real good friend of hers, and I motivated her, inspired her to quit smoking too.
Nice.
So
That's good.
like, and that means the world to me. If I can help somebody be clean and everything, that's what matters.
Yeah. No, that's part of the reason with the podcast I'm doing is to help others keep the recovery people connected. People need help. Need to know the path to go to get that help. That's why I decided to do this. So keep the community, recovery community together because we all need each other.
Yeah.
We help each other out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one thing I learned myself. So, but all right. Well, this is my man Tommy. You got his story. Hit like and subscribe if you want to keep hearing more. Let's keep this going and help out the others.
And just remember, everybody has a story to tell. And that's what helps everybody in recovery. Because you never know, your story might help somebody else in recovery because they can relate to it. So
Exactly.
stay strong.
Hey, yo, what's up? Now I got another person come talk about their experiences here. It's another friend of mine that I met here at Hazelbrook program. His name's John, and he's gonna go ahead and tell us a little bit about his story and what helped him decide to come and change his life around, and what his plans are for his future.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that fine introduction. My name is John Keys. Been an active addiction for about 2.5 years. Was heavy into fentanyl, cocaine, alcohol, and then on homeless, veteran, and March 6th, I attempted suicide. That was my moment of taking this time and changing it around for the best. One for my children and second for me. So upon coming into Hazelbrook, it was scary, didn't know what to do next. But within a matter of weeks, you get a sense of family being here and how everyone is wanting to root for you to win. So you make the program what it is yours, and I did. And upon graduation, I became a house manager. I've already gotten my peer coaching certification, my BHA, or what is it?
QBHA?
Yeah, QBHA. And also with that, piloting the Hazelbrook PHP program. So if you really put into your sobriety, you can actually achieve the highest degrees that you really want to. So remember that in the darkest of lights, the beacon of light of hope is there. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. That's the hardest words that we ever have to say to another person is, I need help. So once you do, I guarantee you sobriety and recovery becomes next thing next to breathing.
Nice. Yeah. So, what got you started into addiction?
Well, I was in a bad car accident in 2020, like at the start of COVID, and I was working apartment maintenance at that time, so I was considered essential employees. So I was coming back from lunch at Alameda in Havana, and I was T-boned at 55 miles an hour on driver's side. I was in the hospital for about 2 months. Had to learn how to walk, how to talk again, and during that time, that's when the pain medication was taken away from me, not because I was using it at that time, but after that, pain was just killing me too much, so I had to self-medicate. First started with alcohol, that did, and then I found myself getting into cocaine and then finally fentanyl. And all that stuff did is not just take away the pain for that slip moment, but it also took away my life.
Yeah. Addiction does do that.
Yes, it does.
But you've gained a lot back since your recovery, correct?
Correct, I have. I've gained family, friends. My kids talk to me again. Coming along with meeting you here, shared a lot in our classrooms and bonding that way. And most importantly, I gained my dignity back.
That's good. It's always good. It's hard when you lose everything that you ever cared about.
Yes.
Just trying to fix that. I know I have a back injury myself, and it still bothers me from time to time. Not as much as before, as you knew, but it still
Right.
bothers me, especially in the cold.
Mhm.
I'm sure you go through your pain sometimes in the
Mhm.
cold.
Yeah, I use the pain now as a motivation to help other peoples and be the voice for the voiceless and do it the correct way rather than the incorrect way.
Definitely, definitely.
You can still get treated healthy if you have pain and do it safely under a doctor's help, along most importantly with friends and family that can help you through that too.
Yeah, yeah. Did you, when you decided to come in, did you just stop, or did you just like okay, one last time and then came? Or?
Actually, this is my first time actually going through sobriety. Um, so that's kind of a really awesome feeling that if you take everything and you throw it into yourself and actually believe in yourself, it's very tough. But if you speak louder than the words that are being said to you inside your head, you can reach up and actually be that strong individual that you know you can be.
Nice, nice. So that's some of the story from John here. So I'm gonna go ahead, load this, hit like, subscribe if you want to keep hearing more, and let's get this ball going, so we can keep helping others and communicate and stay in touch. Have a good day.